Okay, we're here on location with
Ricardo Fagan.
Ricardo. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Well, welcome to the Job Man Caravan. Give me your point of view on the incident that took place down in Florida. Trayvon Martin.
What I don't understand, when his commander told him not to pursue the man, he disobeyed the order and pursued him anyway, and
not necessarily as commander, but the 911 operator.
Right. He should have just disregarded the pursuit when they told him that. However, maybe he had a personal thing against him.
Well, do you think that he should have been arrested, or?
Oh, of course he should have. You know, I don't understand how they justify it up to this point that he's not arrested. If it was somebody other than Caucasian, they would be in jail right now.
That did the murder.
That did the murder.
As averse to European shooting a black kid.
Right.
Where a black person would shoot a European kid.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, be under the jail.
Be under the jail.
Under the jail.
But hopefully with public opinion and people like you that is bringing it to the attention of the public, they'll be forced to do something.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Have you ever been down south, man, like maybe 30, 40 years ago? I mean, it's still the same, but...
No, I've never been down there.
But you heard about it?
But I heard about it.
The lynchings.
The lynching, the segregation, and the whole 9 yards.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow, exactly.
What's the difference between that and now with this Florida situation?
Well, it's not as broad as it had been back in the 30s or 40s. It's not so many incidents. If there are incidents, they cover it up.
Well, that's what they try to do with this situation.
You know, but they can't. It's too much information.
It's worldwide now.
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
And they announced it on WDAS 105.3 every day. And they call from all over. From all over the world? All over the world.
Okay.
So hopefully they would do justice. You know, he's 17-year-old good kid.
Beautiful child.
Yeah. You know,
beautiful, handsome prince.
So hopefully they would do their job.
Okay, well listen, let me ask you this, one more question. Did you know that they were going to have a rally? Big rally tomorrow, Thursday?
Florida, yeah, he announced it on the radio. He'll be there too. The more people come out, the better it will be to bring this thing to a head, fortunately.
Well, we have a TV show, The Job Man Caravan, that comes on channel 66 Comcast and channel 29 and 30 Verizon, Tuesday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and Sunday morning from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m.
Okay, I tune in.
Well, your interview will be on not this Sunday, but the following Tuesday and Sunday.
Okay, I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Listen, it's people like you. We want to give everybody a voice that got something to say.
Okay.
You give me permission to use your interview?
Sure, I do.
Okay, thanks a lot, my brother.
You take
Have a good
care.
day. And we're on location with brother
Abdul Khalil.
Abdul Khalil. Welcome to the Job Man Caravan.
And you're very welcome too, sir.
I'd like to get your comments on the kid that the incident that happened in Florida with Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, well, you know, what I can basically say about the situation is that there's so much of this type of stuff going on, but you haven't been hearing nothing like that about basically with the Asians. But the Asians has been getting hurt for so long, you know, out here in these streets and like never been retaliated. You know, coming back, they've been getting killed and you never hear about nothing about them firing a weapon or anything like that at none of the brothers, but getting killed. You understand? So it's like, you know, like the tables is like turning now. People starting to pick up weapons and starting to come back at these people too. You understand? Like, you know, like we can't just, people like Asians ain't gonna just be just getting
killed. What is
killed.
an Asian?
Asian like Arab or
no, this was a European.
A European. It was probably Chinese. Somebody Chinese, right? Korean.
No, this was a European from Europe.
From Europe. Oh, somebody from Europe. Well, you know.
European descent.
European descent?
Yeah.
Most likely they always get a green light anyway because of their color.
He's not even locked up yet.
I know, because of their color. You understand? But if it was a Caucasian, it would have been different.
If a Caucasian,
yeah.
If a black person Killed the Caucasian?
Yeah, killed the European.
Okay.
It would have been a different situation.
You think so?
I know it would have been a different situation because you would have heard more about it. Just like it would have been like the president had got assassinated. You understand? That's just like when things like that happen to someone in our color, and it's not. I'm not trying to say it by being racist or how they call that, being like saying I hate whites and I hate different nationalities. It's not on that. It's not like that.
We're talking about the true factor.
Yeah, it's about the true factor is that they need to be honest about the situation and start treating people equal, like Dr. King was saying. I mean, I can't, I'm just speaking about some of the things that he said, like that we should be able to live together without all the fitna, all the sin and all the stuff that's going on. But right now, what I see is that it's not getting no better, it's getting worse. You understand? And the Europeans is just like getting away with everything.
Well, this is 2012.
Yeah, it's 2012 and they still getting away with stuff, and they've been getting away with it since the beginning of the time.
But not this time, though.
But not this time.
The world is watching.
So
the world is watching.
The world is watching.
Yeah.
And God willing, we'll get some justice.
Yeah, this kid was in the morgue for 3 days before his parents even found out where he was.
And that's really out of pocket. I mean, 3 days. Your child gets killed and you don't hear nothing about it for 3 days, like he was someone that blew up the White House. You understand? This man, his parents should have knew something about that situation from the beginning. You understand? When he was killed or assassinated, because this is the way that it looks like, it was assassination. Because the European that did it is on the streets right now.
With his gun.
With his gun.
With his gun. Walked away from the scene with his gun.
It's the same situation like what happened to a friend of mine years ago when I was a kid. He snatched a pocketbook. He was wrong. A European guy shot him, paralyzed him. He's paralyzed today in a wheelchair. I goes and see him sometime down 12th and Green.
This is your friend that's
a friend of mine. Was shot just like that. The same situation. The guy never did no time. You understand? The guy, come out with a gun that wasn't even registered. You understand? But they gave him a clean path because the guy snatched a pocketbook. But it was a black guy that killed the European guy. They would have gave him the electric chair, put the needle in his arm. But this kid didn't do anything, brother. And the kid didn't do nothing. This kid was trying to avoid him. So they needed we need to get some justice. Somebody need to step up to the plate and do something that's a higher authority than what me and you have. But it's a good thing that we can stand here and talk about it, because maybe we may get some change or some difference in what's going on. Because this is like people just don't care no more about the people that we are. We have good and bad in all nationalities. And this boy was a good young man. And for him to sit in the morgue for 3 days, it's uncalled for. You understand? But I just pray to God that his family has some peace, and that the people that hear the situation get some peace, knowing that we are here standing right now talking about the situation, so we can maybe have some things get better. You understand? Because it needs to get better, because it ain't doing nothing but getting worse. And situations like this, I probably can talk all day about it. You understand? But I'm just thankful to just give you a little bit of what I could give you about the situation, because I don't think that is right.
Well, our TV show comes on Philly Cam Tuesday nights from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. on Channel 66 Comcast and Channel 29 and 30 Verizon. So not this Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Well, inshallah, that means if it be the will of Allah, if it be the will of God, we'll have a change and things like that, in the future, because right now in the present, we're going through some stuff that's uncalled for, and it ain't too much we can do but just leave it in God's hands and try to do the work that we have to do to better, make things better for us out here as we walk these streets. And definitely our children. Okay. Definitely them. Because things is real bad out here. I just rode past the bus, riding on the bus just a minute ago, not cutting off the situation, looked at a pole with all these teddy bears and candles around. I said, this is not supposed to be for our next generation, because if it does, we're not going to have one. Everywhere you go, you see teddy bears around poles and stuff like that. And it's like it's some type of a thing like people praising and stuff. They want their name written on walls because they got shot behind a gate. It's not about that. You're supposed to live righteously. And if you're gonna live right, you're supposed to be treated right. And like, you know, all I can do is say I'll make dua and pray for the young brother that got killed, and pray that, you know, he have a safe passage to his Lord, you know. But God willing, man, you know what I mean, things, you know, that's why I hold my head up and try to stay sober as I can, 24 hours a day. So I can be on top of it.
Give me permission to use this on my TV show?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
definitely.
Thank you so much for your interview.
Anytime.
Okay.
My name is Brother Khalil.
Peace.
Nice meeting you.
You don't have to worry about the Justice Department.
Okay, what's your name, brother?
I don't want to put that on
Okay,
TV.
well, you know, welcome to the Job Man Caravan.
That was my kid, and he shot my kid. But coming home from the store, I mean, just coming back from the store, he wouldn't be walking around. And I'll show him what a coon is.
Well, did you
I just found out about everything yesterday. When I was coming home from work, hearing it on the radio and what he told me.
Well, this has been going on for a while at this particular police department. So,
Well, to the police down there, if they think that I'm some little thug off the corner, nope. I'm an honorable discharge veteran. I got 3 honorable discharges. If it was my kid, they wouldn't be walking around. That's all I got to say about it.
okay, well...
What happened a year ago? What?
No, it just happened a couple of weeks ago.
All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend. He was on his way back home to watch the All-Star game with the Skittles and the iced tea.
Nope.
What was that?
He was talking to his girlfriend on the phone the whole time.
On the phone, okay, yeah. Well, the girlfriend was the last one that spoke to him.
I feel for the family.
But did you know that it was a white lady that they tried to get her to suppress her story?
No.
Yeah, it was a lady that actually heard it. She didn't see it, but she heard the kid screaming for help. And she said that if the shooter was the one that was screaming for help, why did the scream stop after the gunshot? He should have kept on screaming.
Yeah.
So what they're saying now is that it was the shooter that was screaming for help, not the kid.
No, it was the kid that was screaming for help.
Well, the mother knows the sound of her son's voice, and she heard it over the 911 tape.
It was her son, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, because the police was on the phone the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. So they got it on the 911.
And it's a shame that they're not pursuing it where he should have been in jail, because if it was a black man doing the shoot, he would have been in the jail like yesterday.
Immediately. No questions whether they found out he was right or wrong.
Right or wrong. No questions.
Well, they're trying to prove that the white man is innocent as opposed to proving that he was guilty and the kid was innocent.
Yeah.
So that's why they haven't locked him up yet. They haven't been able to establish proof.
But I don't understand why they didn't lock him up, because on the 911 tape, they was telling him to leave the boy alone, not to pursue him.
Right.
Okay, so automatically, if it was a black man and it was a white kid, that black man would be in jail right now.
Under the jail.
You're right about that. I don't know if they had law or if it was law or statutes or not, because according to Florida, if a person is feeling like someone is threatening them, they can tell them to stand down and pull a gun out on them. That's what the man was trying to use as an excuse.
No, but the boy
that's
didn't have to stop and talk to him. The boy did not. Yes, the boy did not have to
go. What's his name?
He didn't have to stop.
Trayvon Martin.
The singer snatched the phone from the girl.
Oh yeah.
And he was arrested right on. He was arrested as soon as they found out. But
who was this?
What's the singer name? Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, you talking about?
Oh, okay, got you.
But they arrested him just for snatching a phone from a white girl. But yet, this white man shoots a black child. Oh, he's innocent until proven guilty.
After the police had told him to leave him alone,
don't follow,
not to follow him, so automatically he should be in jail right now.
Yeah,
but you know, Trayvon got away from him and he found him.
Right.
Trayvon had got away and thought that he was telling his girlfriend, I think I got away. Then the guy shows up again.
So he was pursuing
he was
hunting him. He was hunting him. He was hunting him. He was hunting him. He was hunting him. He was hunting him. him.
That was a lynch.
Yeah.
That was a real lynch
He was
right there.
hunting him.
That was a real life lynch right there.
Yeah, he got away
Went out there,
and he found him.
and then they let him. Then they let him go.
He wasn't even doing nothing. You was hunting him.
Searching for him to
You was hunting him.
Well, he was the different complexion. That was,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Then they trying to say he Puerto Rican or something, Mexican or something like that.
Profiled the boy.
Yeah.
That's what he did. It was
And
racial
it's such
profiling.
And it's
And
such a shame.
you know, like a lot of white people think that all young black people are a certain way. They think they violent and they scared of them.
They got black people
scared
thinking
of
that too now, though.
You know what I'm saying? And this guy in his mind, probably, you know what I'm saying? He looking at all the stuff on TV, all the videos, all the stuff on the internet.
He got a hood on.
And not to say it's an excuse, but he racially profiled the young boy.
Yeah.
And created a scenario.
Yeah.
And they trying to teach y'all mothers how to
But you
desensitize your children.
But you know what was such a shame is, see, I lost my daughter 2 years ago. Nobody didn't take her life. But to know that somebody took your son's life for absolutely nothing, and then the law gonna stand by and one try to say they don't know whether he guilty or not.
Oh, that police
From the
department messed up.
911 tape, he should have been locked up right there because they told him to leave that boy alone. But because he black, but it's a shame.
Some hands got the roll. Somebody roll from the top to the bottom. Heads got the roll. Simple as that.
But
You know, because if it was on, shoe was on the other foot, if it was another race involved other than a black man, them people be in jail.
Took that boy
Do you
like
think the police department ought to be
Police department is, as far as I'm concerned, is violating all black people's civil rights in Florida right now by not prosecuting that man for killing that young man.
Now, and I'm sure
That's a violation of
I'm
civil
sure,
rights.
and you know
That's
what,
a hate
I'm
crime.
sure it's
That's a hate crime.
And I'm sure
You
it's
got
a white
homosexuals
man
got
that's
more
in
rights
charge
than
of
black people.
whether that white man gets locked up. I bet you it's a white man in charge.
So they done made some laws to protect the homosexuals.
Overseeing whether that white man get locked up.
Zimmerman.
I bet you it's a white man.
Zimmerman.
Over, yeah. I bet you that.
They talking about the boy mixed. If your name's Zimmerman, you a white man. Well, that's concerned.
You know that's
Zimmerman, that's Jewish. There they go again. Them Jews starting that stuff again. They gonna try to protect him. That's why he got away, because of his name, Zimmerman. That's why they ain't lock him up.
It's a shame.
Come to think about it, them Jews in control of stuff. Zimmerman. That's why I ain't lock him up. His parents probably got money.
Those protected communities, they feel some type about them communities. That's like a plantation. They own that thing. Them white people feel some type if you come in there and you walk around.
But they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
And you're not scared of them.
They should not be allowed to do that. They should not be allowed to do that.
To do what?
You can't kill no young person.
To kill somebody because he wasn't a part of that community. He walking. He did not have to stop and tell that man who he was. He wasn't doing anything. Who is that man? He wasn't a police officer. He don't have to stop and talk to him.
But wait a minute, they found out that he wasn't even a community watch representative.
He was self-proclaimed.
And he was crazy. Assault.
As I said before,
The man had a case.
He was
He got felonies. He got assaults on the police.
Yep.
What he doing with a gun?
In Florida, you can.
In Florida, you can carry a gun if you assault the police.
Well, obviously, they gave him his gun. He left the scene of the crime with his gun.
Like I said, the police department, the state department in Florida need to be put up on charges of oppressing black people, as far as I'm concerned.
Accessory to the crime.
Civil rights violation.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the purpose of having civil rights laws if you can't use them?
Well, they have to prove that it was a civil rights issue. That's what they're doing
They
now.
said the man called him a racial slur. If they got it on tape that the man used a racial slur at any point in this incident.
Prior to the shoot.
That's a civil rights
I'm
violation.
tired of them
right
getting
there.
away. And he insinuated, he said, I'm
The
tired of
reason
them
he
getting
messing
away.
with that man, because what'd he say? Coon getting out the car?
And he ain't locked up yet. And he ain't locked up yet.
But they don't know. But they don't know where he is either.
No.
He probably fled.
But if he was black, he would have never had a chance.
He probably back.
But I'm saying that.
Yeah, they gonna say,
There's black kids out there too.
Okay, so here's a question.
Boy, no, but it's real.
Question. Kid 17 years old, coming home from the store, bag of Skittles and a jar of iced tea. Guy starts to pursue him. Guy calls 911 and says, hey, you know, this guy looks like he's on drugs and he looks strange. Strange meaning not a part of our community. A gated community. A gated community. Okay, so now he says that these ASSHOLES always get away with it. I mean, if you heard the interviews. So the dispatcher of 911 says, are you pursuing them?
Yes.
And he says yes. So now the dispatcher says, well, we don't need you to do that. So he says, okay. Now the girl is on the phone talking to Trayvon.
That's the girlfriend, right?
The girlfriend. And she's saying, Trayvon, run.
Was she in Florida too?
Yeah, well, she was in the neighborhood. She went to school with him. That was his girlfriend.
Okay.
So she says, Trayvon, run. And Trayvon, macho, testosterone, says, I'm not going to run. But he starts to try to get away from this guy. The guy follows him and finds him. He's behind this white lady's house. So now the white lady had a press conference yesterday and says, I heard this kid screaming for help. Then I heard a shot, then I didn't hear no more screams. And they're trying to sweep that under the carpet and make that something else. So what they're finding out is that from the lawyer and the ministers and the other people in the community, that this has been going on. This is not the first time that they swept something under the carpet.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
Kid stayed in the morgue for 3 days. Mother trying to find him, calling around. Only way she found him, from what I understand, was to file a missing persons report. They put a John Doe tag on him.
And why was that?
Well, because they was trying to quiet it down.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah.
They was trying to hush it up.
They knew who he was through the phone records.
That's a shame.
They could have found out who he was through the phone record.
Ain't no excuse for not knowing who you are.
Well,
Cell phone, you know, they could find you. They could triangulate you.
Man, they cell phone on Facebook, because once it happened, they had every video and every picture from his dad alone.
There's no reason to keep that boy hidden from his mama for 3 days.
3 days.
Come on, man.
Well, see, to me, it's like it's still slavery. It's just modern slavery. You know, they still killing our people. They're doing nothing. But soon as one of ours do something, whether you right or wrong, whether they figured it out or not, they gonna hold you or lock you up. They not gonna give you a chance to just run. You know, and that's so unfair. I feel so sorry for the mother. I mean,
but she's not gonna see her son anymore.
You're right.
Not just not seeing her son no more, but somebody is getting away with killing her baby, and the world can see it.
Everybody but the local police.
It's bad enough that she got to accept her son is gone, but to know that her son got killed for absolutely nothing, for a bag of Skittles, you have to live with that every day. That your kid is not here, but the reason why, because a white man saw him and didn't like him. Oh my God!
Did you ever see this kid, Trayvon? Do you ever see a picture of him?
I seen him on the news. I've been seeing him, watching the picture on the news. You know, he didn't look like a thug. He didn't look like no thug.
He looked like a prince to me.
Yeah.
He looked like somebody royal.
Yeah, but you know what it was? He was black. He was black. And even though
that wiped out the prince and everything.
And it looked he's a black prince, but the white man could not see that. He wasn't doing anything. He didn't have to stop and tell him who he was. They did see that.
That's why they killed a good young man. They didn't kill like a regular street boy.
But you know what? Even though it was a gated community, why couldn't he have been visiting somebody in there? And
that's true.
Why couldn't he be?
But he was.
We should be just as mad with black on black violence too.
Yeah, I mean,
when you see a black guy killing another black brother, we should be just as mad, raising Cain and all that. We should be protesting Skittles for one right now, because they should be stepping up trying to stop all this crazy stuff going on down there. He went to get some Skittles.
This is true.
They making money. Everybody making money off this stuff. We keep talking about Skittles.
Who's making money?
Whoever, whenever they talk about, like, for instance, I hear them talking on the radio that now.
Police,
people, what the brother name? Reverend Al Sharpton going down there to protest, but yet they bringing all these black people down there to help fund the area that killed this brother. You all going down to Orlando, you gotta stay down there. You buying food down there. You doing all types of stuff down there. Whatever, getting gas down there. Whatever you gotta get while you stand down in the protest, you helping support that community that didn't protect that young brother. And for one,
suppose they didn't. Suppose they didn't protest. Suppose they, didn't.
Oh, the protest is fine indeed, but really we got to teach our young brothers on what's going on out there, because we ignorant to the fact that it's still slavery going on to this day right now.
New Jim Crow.
Because slavery, they didn't put chains on the slaves. The slaves was on the plantations without chains. That brother right there was somewhere where they didn't want him to be, and for him to be a free brother, like you said, a prince. Everybody wasn't enslaved at the time of slavery. It was a lot of black brothers around, and that's the brothers that they killed now, because they knew that they were smart, they had a lot of information, and they didn't like them brothers walking around and teaching other brothers their age how to be good men, or just being a good man for themselves, period. So him being in a nice gated community, and his stepmother being there, and him having a good relationship with his stepbrother, they didn't know that, but we know this now. They just gonna put this on television just to let you know how his life was worthless. But yeah, we do gotta go down there and protest. But we gotta show our brothers what they need to be as young men. We don't got nothing out there. They getting rid of everything in school. They moving them along. They don't got no trade schools. No brothers like to work with their hands. You see them out there selling drugs. They the geniuses of drug dealing, but they can't be geniuses at nothing else. That's because mayor, they taking stuff out of school. They taking everything out, moving the kids on. Oh man, you can go on and on, down. I'm talking about Philly right now. Florida messed up, but Philly crazy right now too. All over the place, we got kids dying. We got boys getting shot in the playground and everything. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But that's all the violence they show on TV. That's all we know about each other. But it's beautiful things happening with the children, and we don't talk about that. We don't put the good images out there. The news don't want to worry about that. They got all these black news anchors, but ain't nothing talking about nothing good.
The news is censored.
Yeah, it's censored. They just talk about.
That's why we ain't heard about it for a month. Why we just hearing about this in a month ago?
No, this just happened.
Happened in an All-Star game. That was 3.5 weeks ago.
That's 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, but we found out this week. Well,
come on,
black people time is long. It's too long. It's 2 years long.
We just find out about this now. Come on, man. If you had got killed.
But look, the last time something like this happened,
like
the last time was some young kids, them young black kids that went, them black children
that killed that little
that went to college. I'm talking about the children that went to college, and they was in a playground and they assassinated them children a couple years back. I think they went to Dell State, but they was doing something positive. They killed them. It don't matter. You got the young brothers that's on the corner. They get shot up every day.
Well, let me ask you this. Has anybody in here seen the video, Slavery by Another Name? No? I would suggest you try to catch that, because what we're talking about today has a lot of that in it. At the end of the Civil War, when we were supposed to have been free from the Emancipation Proclamation, it was except if we were convicted of a crime. So what happened was they created crimes that they convicted us on, and you had to pay the cost of court, and you had to pay the fine. So if you didn't have the money for the cost of court and the fine, they leased you out to a corporation, and that's where they worked us to death, till you died, and they threw you out in the backyard and got another group of people. So now what happened is this went on for 80 years. So this went on from 1865 till 1945 or 35. So this was 80 years that they were able to continue to do this, and everybody made money. Now, so when this brother's talking about how money is involved, that's where the money was, because everybody that were able to work us and not pay us a dime kept all of the money. We didn't get a dime.
But that was through white supremacy still, though.
It's called Slavery by Another Name. Lawrence Fishburne was the narrator. You want to get that?
The only people allowed to vote at the time was white landowners. So that was the rich people that was making the laws according to how they wanted them to fit themselves.
It's still that way.
And that's why they had the brothers getting locked
It's
up.
still that way. They still make the laws for themselves. They're not the same for all people. Even though they say they are, but they're not the same for all people.
Get your stuff.
Okay. Yes, my name's Carvel Watson. I'm the producer director for Studio 2 Videoproductions.com. And the production that you're watching now is either MediaAdvocates.com or thejobmancaravan.com. And what we're attempting to do with our television production is we're attempting to give a voice to the voiceless. What we want to do is we want to allow people that can see wrongs and injustice and misrepresentations of us to be able to have a format as to where they can speak up and let everyone else know that they're not alone in their feelings and their thoughts. So through television, through the communications media, through our website broadcast, this will allow hundreds of thousands of millions of people to actually tune in and know that they're not alone, because the same thing's happening to us in Philadelphia. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in New York. It's happening in Atlanta. It's happening everywhere. And unfortunately, the communications media doesn't give us the opportunity to know this, because they make you think that it's an isolated affair. Young brother got shot down for some dumb reason. Here in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, we had a beautiful queen that was shot down, mother of 4. Indiscriminately. Some fool shot into a crowd, hit her twice. Now, her husband has to raise his 4 children, and all that he had thought would happen in the future, the weddings, the high school graduations, to watch their children flourish, is no more. He has to do all of that. When he came home and his dinner was ready, he has to cook dinner now. When mom helped the children out with their homework, he has to do that now. So this family has been disrupted over some foolishness, over guns, over some nonsense that didn't even matter, and lives have been destructed. Not only the family of the sister that got slain, but of the youngster that shot the bullet, because his life is no more. Unfortunately, he shot the daughter of a real powerful spiritual brother. And even though the spiritual brother thought that it was the Creator's will and forgave the guy who did it, I'm pretty sure when that boy go to jail, they got inmates in there that ain't gonna feel the same way. So now his life is gonna be a living hell, because he has the stigma of killing a spiritual brother. I'm not gonna go into the religion, but this brother was well powerful, he was well liked and well loved, and if he came into a room, everybody straightened out, because he was sincere about his belief in God, his belief in us being human beings, and he practiced what he preached. So this fool took his child away from him. And this is happening all over the United States, maybe all over the world. So what we want is we want you to send in your minute video about how you see the world, about how you see the communications media, about how you see us being misrepresented, about how we can come together as a race of people and stop doing some of the dumb nonsense that we see on television. We see it, but we don't see the positive. We don't see the greatness. We don't see the child prodigy, the A student, the honor roll students. We don't see the parent or the neighborhood person that steps out and become a vanguard in the neighborhood that does great things for all of the children and all the people that are around them. No, you want to show us the negative side of ourselves, and our television show and our website television production is a counter to all of that. So what we want you to do is, however you see the communications media, whether it be positive, we need to let the producers of the shows know that we like the positive thing that we see. We want you to keep it up. We want you to encourage others to take note and come up with a positive show or positive presentation. But when it's negative, we want to be able to collectively speak out against it, because there's certain ethnic groups that you will not insult. And you know you will not insult them, because if you do, they're going to raise so much cane that you're going to wish you never mentioned their name. You can't even insult people that are disabled. They come together. Anytime you come out and misrepresent them or disrespect them, they come together and straighten you out. But it seems like us, the African-American race, people of color, whatever their hue might be, and whatever their nationality might be, because we're all getting bit by the same dog, and we need to be able to speak up and bring attention to our plight and bring attention to our representation. We control the communications industry. The communications industry has a license. That license allows them to broadcast what they call community programming. And what they do is they are also allowed to sell commercial space on their broadcast network. We are the ones that decide how much they charge per commercial because of the attendance and the shows that we watch. And every year, they have to come up in front of a license board to renew their license. If we don't like what they're doing, we need to be at that meeting in full force. And we need to set out our grievances. If we write them and we tell them we don't like what they're doing and how they're projecting us in the news media and the type of shows that they're putting on where we always got a laugh track underneath of us, or we stereotyped, or we buffooning and acting like fools, then we need to tell them we don't like that. And if they don't correct it, then we need to go to that meeting. And we need to let the board members and the license board know that we don't like this. That's how you get the problem resolved. But sitting around beefing and being angry and taking it out on your brother and sister, that's not a solution. You're adding on to the problem. You're giving them fata, you're giving them material that they can use to paint us with this broad brush as being negative. And we are the children of the great ancestors who were at the center of scientific learning in our homeland before we came to America. So that blood is still rich in our veins. And if you're going to let people try to make a fool out of you and turn you around in 400 years and erase 20 and 30,000 years of development, of human development, then that's on you. But the TV show is about letting you know that there are alternatives, and we need you to write us and let us know who you are so we can give you the credit you deserve if you're doing some great things. We need you to send us a video and let us know who you are so that we can let other people know that you're not alone if you're trying to feed the hungry, trying to house the homeless, trying to give jobs to the people that are out of work, try to vote collectively so that our vote will mean something, so that we will get something before the election and not wait until after the election and we don't wind up with anything. So this is the whole scenario that we try to create with the Job Man Caravan, the MediaAdvocates.com, and we have a social network entitled what is it again? The ShowBizBook.com. So on that note, I'm Carvel Watson on location, giving you my commentary, hoping that you'll tune in and pass the word on so we can build up our client base and we can build up our show viewership. And this is all about you. And we're not the only one that has attempted to bring us together. There have been greater people than myself through my lifetime. We had the King movement. We had the Marcus Garvey movement. We had the Noble Drew Ali movement. We had great people. We had the brother Medford. What was his name? Jesus Christ. Okay. We had great people that came before me that tried to bring us together. And all of us are great. And we all need to come together and stop this foolishness. We need to stick with our families and raise our children, not have children all over the place. How can you do that? How can you do that? And a lot of fathers that walked away from their children are sorry right now. I know a lot of great athletes don't want to have nothing to do with their parents. I know a lot of children that raised up to be great that won't have anything to do with their parents because their parent, at least their father, had abandoned them when they were children. Let's cut this foolishness out. If we bring a child into the world, we should be strong enough and adult enough and human enough to raise them. So on location, this is Carvel Watson signing off, and we hope you become a part of our network. We'll show you the information at the end of the show. Thank you so much. God bless and be strong.